7 cents worth.
Maybe it don't make the lemonade right.
Yeah, let's taste it. What that lemonade needs is a floor show.
That's a swell idea.
But where could we do that?
The Little Rascals is undoubtedly one of the most iconic shows of its time, evoking memories of laughter, mischievous adventures, and a diverse cast of young stars who lit up the screen. But behind the success of this groundbreaking series lies a far darker reality, a shadow some have called a curse. Many of the young cast members who charmed audiences with their innocence and humor met tragic and untimely deaths. From fatal accidents to mysteriously dark futures and circumstances, lives were cut short, leaving a trail of heartbreak and unanswered questions. The Little Rascals were known for showcasing incredibly young talents, but sadly, many of them faced tragic ends far too soon. Norman "Chubby" Chaney joined the cast at a young age and quickly became a fan favorite, with his comedic timing and lovable demeanor. Unfortunately, after his time on the show, he suffered from a glandular condition that caused significant health problems. He passed away at just 21 years old from myocarditis, leaving behind a short-lived but memorable legacy. Billy "Froggy" Laughlin is another heartbreaking example of the tragic fate encountered by many cast members. Known for his unique raspy voice and comic timing, Billy brought smiles to audiences during his time on The Little Rascals. Sadly, his life was cut short when he was only 16 years old after a scooter accident. He was riding on the back of a friend's scooter when they were struck by a truck. Billy didn't survive the crash, making him one of the youngest cast members to die. Scotty Beckett, who played young Spanky, carried a promising future in Hollywood after leaving The Little Rascals. He appeared in a string of big-name films, but struggled to secure leading roles that could propel his career further. Despite his undeniable talent, his personal life unraveled. Scotty battled substance abuse and faced multiple arrests, which ultimately derailed his career. In 1968, his troubled life came to a devastating end when he was found dead in his apartment at just 38 years old. According to the Los Angeles Times, his death was surrounded by mystery, though it's widely believed he overdosed. Matthew "Stymie" Beard initially found great success on the show, becoming one of its most recognizable stars. However, after leaving Hollywood, life became increasingly difficult. Growing up in Los Angeles, Beard struggled with negative influences and fell into drug addiction during his teenage years. While he eventually overcame his addiction later in life, his health had taken a toll. Beard made a short return to television on shows like Good Times, before he passed away at the age of 56 from a stroke. While some cast members of The Little Rascals met with tragedy, others led vastly different lives, some quietly stepping away from Hollywood, while a select few pursued long-lasting careers in the entertainment industry. Tommy "Butch" Bond, best remembered as the series' iconic bully, was one of the few who successfully transitioned into work behind the camera. After leaving the spotlight, Bond took on various roles in television production and directing, crafting a steady career away from acting. He retired from the industry, but always spoke fondly of his time on The Little Rascals. Bond passed away at the age of 79, reportedly from heart complications. Carl Switzer, who portrayed Alfalfa, is one of the most recognizable faces of the series. Sought to continue his career in Hollywood after The Little Rascals. While he managed a few minor roles in movies, including a small appearance in It's a Wonderful Life, his acting career quickly fizzled out. Switzer began working a series of odd jobs, including hunting guide and bartender. Unfortunately, his life ended in a highly publicized and tragic manner. In 1959, Alfalfa was shot and killed at the age of 31 during an argument over a financial dispute. Witnesses claimed the dispute was over a dog training fee Switzer charged to a client. According to Time magazine's coverage of the incident, the case was ruled as justifiable homicide, but many fans continue to speculate about the circumstances of his death. Jackie Cooper, unlike most of his castmates, became one of the few to transition successfully from child star to respected adult actor and director. His post-Rascals career flourished, earning him multiple Oscar nominations and a significant role as Perry White in Superman. Cooper himself reflected on his experience with Hollywood as a child. once mentioning in his memoirs that working as a child actor often felt isolating. Despite those hardships, Cooper passed away peacefully at the age of 88 after a long and prosperous career. Dorothy DeBorba and Jean Darling both left Hollywood behind early in their lives. Dorothy, known for her big smile and witty personality, chose an entirely different path, working a quiet administrative job while raising her family. She passed away at the age of 85 from emphysema. John Darling, on the other hand, explored other creative outlets after leaving the Little Rascals. She found a second career in Broadway, and eventually radio work, living to the impressive age of 93 before passing away peacefully in 2015. These diverse outcomes highlight the unpredictable nature of post-Hollywood life for child stars. While some, like Cooper, managed to thrive and grow their careers, others struggled to find purpose or peace outside the spotlight. For many, their time on the Little Rascals remained the defining part of their lives, whether they wanted it to be or not. Many members of the Little Rascals cast faced tragic and untimely deaths, cut short by accidents, illness, or misfortune. While fame may have given them brief moments in the spotlight, their lives often came to shocking and premature conclusions. Bobby Weezer Hutchins, one of the youngest members of the cast, met a devastating fate after his time in the series. After leaving Hollywood, Bobby joined the U.S. Army Air Forces as part of his commitment to serve his country. Tragically, he died in a mid-air collision between two training planes while preparing for combat during World War II. According to military records, Hutchins was just 20 years old when the accident occurred, marking a heartbreaking end to a life that seemed poised for greater purpose. Billy Buckwheat Thomas, known for his memorable performances alongside Spanky, managed to leave the entertainment industry and forge a humble career as a film lab technician in Los Angeles. Despite his departure from Hollywood, his character became the subject of controversy years later when rumors surfaced about his death in the 1990s. Media outlets mistakenly reported Buckwheat's death due to an imposter making false appearances as the actor. Billy had, in fact, died decades earlier in 1980 of a heart attack at the age of 49. Gordon Lee, who portrayed Porky, another beloved member of the cast, quietly exited Hollywood in his later years and went on to work as a school teacher in Colorado. While many were unaware of his connection to the Little Rascals, Gordon devoted his life to education, far away from the chaos of the entertainment industry. However, his later years were plagued by health issues, and he eventually succumbed to cancer in 2005 at the age of 71. These stories illustrate how many of these former stars moved on to live humble, hard-working lives, only to face misfortune along the way. Despite their fame as children, the pressures and challenges of adulthood often overshadowed the joy they brought to audiences. Perhaps most haunting is how their time on the Little Rascals often felt like both their greatest triumph and a bittersweet curse.